All right, well, guys, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Welcome to our Elite Training Friday edition. Normally we host it on Thursday nights, but we're really excited today because we have a gentleman on that has been in the industry for a good long time. And he is with Great Western. And we just got connected with them and contracted. And he's agreed to just come on and give us a very solid foundation, A to Z, soup to nuts type of training. Gonna put us in touch with resources and tools and technologies to help you guys on your journey. So without further ado, guys, just like I always say, I know what it's like to train to a bunch of names or pictures. If you're able, cameras on, notebooks open, and please help me welcome Mr. Raymond Mott. How are you, sir?
Great, great. Excited to be with you guys. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you're still going through the process, trust me, it doesn't take too long. Usually 7 to 10 days, we can get you a writing number and you'll be ready to roll. I encourage you to take a lot of notes. I encourage you to, and you can help me on the questions, Mario. If somebody's got a question, just stop me. This is not formal enough where we can't stop and ask a question because I don't want you to forget about it. So, but anyhow, without further ado, I'm going to jump right into our product. Let's see here. Oh, let's see what I do with it. Oh, I had it open. Here. Can everybody see that or not yet?
No, sir. We had it, and then it went away.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's do that. Yeah, this is the one we want. Come on. There we go. Everybody see that now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I need to get it where it's full screen here. What happened to that?
Bottom right side.
Bottom right. What am I looking for?
Right where the dial is, where you can go minimum, maximum, right to the left of that. You see where you can drag back and forth. It says 49%. There's like a minus sign and a plus sign.
Yeah. Hit the plus.
Right to the left of that, there's like a little screen.
Okay.
And that should bring it up.
There we go. Right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me move this back.
There we go. Full screen. We got it.
All right. Awesome. All right, guys. What we're going to cover today is the final expense. Like I said, it's 3 products on one application, so it makes it very, very simple. I'm going to encourage you to ask questions, write them down, and then when we got a pause there, we can answer them or whatever. But just to kind of give you some background on the company, been in business since 1929. We are A Excellent rated, which we are extremely solid. A Excellent by AM Best. The new name Wellaby. Wellaby is our parent company. They bought Great Western. They bought our health company, which is Medico, and then they also bought American Republic. But we're all under one roof as Wellaby. Nothing has really changed other than the name. The name Wellaby stands for "We'll always be here for you." Be well today. So it's pretty cool. Great company though. Multiple products to satisfy your clients' needs. We have some very innovative tools for your business development. We do things a little different than most companies, and I think you'll be happy to hear what we do. The better solutions. Like I said, we have 3 products on one application. The first product is our first day coverage, which is called Great Assurance Plan. This plan right here is our first day coverage, which means this is going to be for your healthy clients that doesn't have a lot of issues or whatever. This is where you're going to put them. This next product is our graded benefit. This is for your clients that's going to have some issues that are pretty well controlled, but yet it's not first day coverage. And I'll go more in the details for you. And then last but not least, what most people know Great Western for is our guaranteed assurance plan. This product right here, if you can fog a mirror, you're in, okay? There is no health underwriting, health screening on our guaranteed issue. And I'll go over the parameters and all that. There's one common rider that's available on all three of these plans, which I tell everybody, just put it on there. This grandchild rider, as you can see here, it's an optional rider. It only adds $1 to the total monthly premium. But for that dollar, basically what you're doing is you're insuring all grandchildren, and if there's even any dependent children, and this is ages 0 to 17, we're going to cover them all for $1, flat rate. I don't care if you have one grandchild or if you have 15. For $1, I'm going to give them each $2,500 worth of coverage. No health questions asked. The catch to it is that it'll only pay out one time. So as they pay $1 per month for this plan, God forbid, but if one of their grandchildren were to pass away before they die, we'll pay that $2,500 death benefit, but then the rider goes away. You probably have access to companies that you can move those kids if you needed to move them after that, but that's the way our rider works. And even if the rider goes away, the dollar stays on the plan. But make sure you understand what I'm saying. It's $1 even Steven. There's no dollar per child. It's just $1, but it's a great rider. Once they turn age 18, the child will fall off, but everybody else stays on that's 17 and under. Okay. Here's the actual parameters. As you can see here, the first day coverage and the graded have the exact same parameters. What I mean by that is it's available for people ages 50 to 85, male or female rated, non-tobacco or tobacco rated. The minimum face amount is $2,500. The maximum face amount is $40,000. But the $40,000 is available for everybody that's 50 to 80. If they're over 80, as you can see here, the death benefit, the max that we can do is $25,000. If they're 81 to 85, okay? In addition to that, if you look over here, the guaranteed assurance, that's our guaranteed issue product. We lowered the age bracket down to age 40. So anybody that you know of that's between the ages of 40 and 80, I don't care what their health status is, we can insure them. They could have terminal stage 4 cancer. You can still write them, okay? The way the works on our graded, for example, if they can't get first day and they can get graded, the way it works is, let me get to that screen, is the graded benefit says that if you die in the first year, we will pay out 30% of the actual death benefit to your beneficiary. If you die in months 13 through 24, we'll pay 70% of the death benefit. However, if you die starting month 25, then it'll pay the full death benefit. That's under the graded. Under the guaranteed issue, it's a little different. In the first 2 years, what we're going to do is if a person dies in the first 2 years, and these are of natural causes, guys, if they die in the first 2 years, we're going to give them all of their money back plus 10%, okay? But starting month 25, it'll pay the full death benefit. Now, I say that to tell you this. If for somebody has our graded or our guaranteed issue and they have our policy, and let's say 2 months from now, they get in an accident and they pass away, we're going to pay the full death benefit, okay, for accidents. It's only if it's a natural cause is where they'll see limited benefits. The only reason why they're getting one of those 2 plans is because of health issues anyway. Let's take a look at our first day coverage. So our first day coverage is really, really strong. It has a lot of extra value benefits. For example, our accelerated death benefit, if for some reason, and this is a free rider, by the way, you don't pay for this. If you get a client that qualifies for our first day, this is what they get absolutely free. If they have our plan, and then at some point they are diagnosed with a terminal illness, our rider right here virtually says that if you've got 12 months or less to live, we will let you have access to 90% of your face amount while you're alive, okay? In addition to that, this is another huge benefit, the chronic illness benefit. Yeah, where's my mouse at? Yeah, right here, this chronic illness benefit, What's really cool about it is if you got somebody that maybe they're not terminal, but yet they had something pop up that they considered a chronic illness. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you got a person that's great health, they get on this plan, 3 or 4 months down the road, they have a stroke, let's say. And that stroke is really, they need care now because maybe they're paralyzed on one side of their body or whatever. Virtually what we're saying here is that if you're unable to perform at least 2 of the ADLs, and for those people who don't know what ADLs are, that's activities of daily living, which include like feeding yourself, bathing yourself, getting dressed by yourself, moving in and out of a bed or a chair by yourself, or if you have a cognitive impairment or something. If you have any of those 2 things that you're unable to do, and it's, if you need substantial supervision for at least 90 days, that will also trigger us to allow you to have 90% of your face amount while you're alive and recuperating from this. And that's huge, by the way, because there's a lot of people today, because of our medical technology, that they're coming back from certain ailments but they're just having to slower process getting there. What we're saying is, and where this could really come in handy, for example, is let's say you've got somebody that they have a stroke, obviously, and they're confined to a wheelchair. They may need to have a wheelchair ramp built onto to their house to be able to get in and out of the house. Well, here's money readily available for them that they could use to maybe have that wheelchair ramp built. So it's just kind of give you an idea of what that money can be used for. So those are 2 real big items that are absolutely free on our first day coverage. You don't pay for that. In addition to that, we have an accidental death rider that's only available on the first day. It means for an additional cost, you can actually double the face amount. So if you found somebody that wanted $40,000 and they're in great health that they can qualify for our first day coverage, you can add this accidental death rider that will make that 40 become an $80,000 accidental death plan. Okay. Our plan is very easy to qualify for too, by the way, guys. Like I said, what we use on our first day coverage and our graded, it's something that's called, look down here at the bottom, it says Milliman IntelliScript risk score. And for those people who doesn't know what that is, if you have any idea about, what most companies use to underwrite, most companies will use what's called the MIB report. That's the Medical Information Bureau. That's where insurance companies will go to look to see any information that has changed hands from an insurance company to any type of medical facility, doctor, or whatever. For the sake of underwriting, any of that information that changes hands goes into what's called the MIB. It's kind of like the credit bureau, but for health insurance or for underwriting purposes. Well, the good news is we don't use the MIB, guys. So rest assured, if somebody's had that in the past, we're not gonna tag the MIB to see what's wrong with them. All we use to underwrite our product is Milliman IntelliScript. And in layman's terms, this is what it means. We have a service that we subscribe to that when you submit an app, all we're looking at is their prescriptions. And if you give us their name, their address, their phone number, their date of birth, and their social security number, just with that information right there, I don't even have to ask them what medications they're taking. I'll be able to find out through Milliman. Milliman will list everybody's prescribed medications that they're on currently. Okay. So what we're doing is we're using that data to underwrite the policy. So I don't care, because anytime somebody gets rejected, that reject shows up in the MIB, by the way. Okay. We don't subscribe to that. So if you've got somebody that's been turned down 2 or 3 times or whatever, we don't care because we're not looking at that data anyway. All we're looking at is prescriptions. And that is huge. That is huge because there's some companies that will kick you out just because you got rejected through for something in the past. If it doesn't show up in the Milliman IntelliScript, they're good. We're solid. Okay. In addition to that, we use that Milliman on these first 2, the first day coverage and the graded. On the guaranteed issue, there's no underwriting. Okay. Another solid benefit to our plan or working with Great Western, we don't have a height and weight chart, guys. So if you're out there and you run across somebody that's 4 foot tall and they're 600 pounds and they have no ability to fall down, but they roll, we can take those folks. Okay. We insure Weeble Wobbles. Okay. We don't have a height and weight chart. So a lot of our competitors, they have a height and weight chart. And if you're above it, you can't qualify. With us, it's regardless of the plan. We don't use a height and weight chart. Okay. So keep that in your hat and remember that. Like I said, on the guaranteed issue, it's real simple. I'll tell you another thing that makes this really popular. If a person doesn't have a social security number, let's say that maybe they're an immigrant, that's moved to the United States, but they have an I-10 number, that's all we need. We can underwrite it with an I-10. Okay. So a lot of companies, if you don't have a social, they can't write you. With us, if you don't have a social, but you have an I-10 number, we can still underwrite you. Okay. Moving right along. It's easier for me to tell you where we're not than where we are. Okay. The only places we don't do business in is the state of New York, the state of Washington, Hawaii, and Alaska. If you notice, California is shaded a little different here. California is selling our older version of this product. The older version of this product in California, it has a first day coverage and it has a guaranteed issue. It does not have a graded plan. Okay. Whereas everywhere in the United States, we have this is considered the new product. We came out with this product with the 3 levels in May of 22. So it's been not quite 2 years, but it's doing really well because this product is actually cheaper than our older product. Okay. Plus it gives you an extra added thing. But just so you know, if you're in any one of these states that are dark purple, like right here, you're solid with the new plan. In California, this new plan has been approved, but the company has not yet rolled it out because we want to make sure everything is solid before we roll it out and there's no issues. So you continue selling the older product in California. Okay. Better speed. Because we went to Milliman and Telescript, on average, we're issuing policies, get this, in 118 seconds. That's less than 2 minutes. So when you after you enter the data and you ask the health questions or whatever, and it's time to hit you put their banking information in to, set up bank draft or whatever, and you do their beneficiaries, when you hit the submit button, you can almost look at your watch and within 2 minutes, you're going to have an answer. And let's say you're applying for the first day coverage, but for whatever the reason, something in Milliman kicks it out, it's going to immediately give you an offer of whichever one they can qualify for. It might be the graded, it might be the guaranteed issue, but it's going to show up on the screen is, sorry, we couldn't do this one, but we can do this one. And it's an accept or it's a decline as far as from the consumer standpoint, if they want to do it or not. Okay. But we can still guarantee the coverage. So we let them know when we're sitting with them that you're going to get coverage today. It's just a matter of which one you're going to get. Okay. This quick quoting tool, if you want, you'll have this, but this right here is not an app. This is a URL. I would tell everybody to, when you type this in on your smartphone or whatever, save this URL because it is our quoting tool. And I'm actually going to demonstrate this for you when I'm done with this particular PowerPoint. But what's cool about this MyEnroller, most agents out there go out and just quote round face amounts. Okay. What we're focusing on is last year we broke all kinds of records. The field did an awesome job. We almost doubled production from the previous year across the country. But what we see where we were lacking is we want better quality. So what we've done is we've made some changes. We've made some quality adjustments to our quoting tool that can teach you to write better quality business. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you, how and why we do it that way. Here's some, when you're submitting business with us, here's some things, like I said, the instant Milliman and Telescript risk score, that's huge, guys. That's what makes us so fast with our underwriting. The agents absolutely love it because you don't have to jump through a lot of hoops when it comes to underwriting. The most common things we hear from the field is, hey, we love your customer service. You guys on the agent sales support line are awesome. They're incredible. You guys, we don't have to jump through hoops when we submit business with you like other carriers that we do business with. We like the idea that before we leave their house, they have a policy. They have a policy number. They know they're covered. It just makes it so much simpler. We don't have any paper apps, guys. Everything we do is digital. So as long as you've got an internet connection, you're solid. You can use desktop computers if you're doing like telesales or whatever. You can use a laptop, a tablet, even some of your smartphones. We have a quoting and application process. You have to have an internet connection. You have to put a state in there because we have to make sure whatever state you're doing business in, it automatically pulls up what you need for that state. So you never have to worry about, do I have everything I need? We're going to have that already connected to you. So you bypass all the data entry. Okay. I've been doing this 40 years. I can't even pronounce some of these prescriptions people take today, much less try to spell them. So we don't ask you to do any of that. Okay. You don't have to ever worry about doing that. The only thing you're going to have to enter on as far as data, like I said, is name, address, phone number, social security number, date of birth. And it's got to be a physical address. It can't be a PO box. Also, we're going to ask you to put their primary care doctor's name and a phone number. And it's very important that you give us a name and a phone number. Now, if they don't have a primary care doctor, but yet they went to a clinic, maybe they went to a clinic somewhere because they had the flu, put the name of that clinic and their phone number. We have to have a backup. We don't need their address, but we do need their phone number and who they are. That's just as a backup mechanism if we can't find anything on through Milliman and Telescript. If you do not give us a doctor's name and a phone number, I don't care if they're in perfect health, they're going to automatically be thrown into the guaranteed issue. So it's very, very important that you give us a doctor's name and a phone number. Okay. And it's not to say we're going to call them. We're only going to call them if we can't find anything in Milliman Telescript. Okay. Bank account validations. We did away with, we used to do credit cards. We used to do Direct Express. We don't do that anymore. And the reason why, guys, is it goes back to quality. Last year, across the entire country, in over $80 million of premium submitted, okay, not all of it was from credit card and debit cards, but what we did get from debit cards, like through credit cards or Direct Express, only 24% of it validated and paid. So 76% fell off and we could never collect due to bad accounts, not active accounts and things like that. So it's a headache and it kills your profitability. So what we did starting March 1st, okay, now you guys, if you haven't written with us, y'all not going to have to worry about it because all we're doing is break draft now. But if prior to March 1st, we had that available, but it's gone. No, so don't ever try to do anything else but bank drafts. Okay. Currently today, here's our options. You can have it signed, like if you're using an iPad, you can do an in-person physical signature, like if they're using their finger on an iPad. You can do an e-signature, like a text. Like, for example, if you're selling this over the phone to somebody, you can once you have their cell number, you can put that in on our application and we will send them a text. And when they get that text, it will give them a code. They will tell you what that code is. You're going to enter that on the application. That's their signature. That's called text messaging signature. And then the last one down here, e-signature. So let's say you're dealing with somebody over the phone. If they've got an email, you can use their email. We'll send over to them a DocuSign. They will sign it. They will send it back and then it'll be uploaded and that's their signature. Okay. So these are the ways we're doing signatures right now. Okay. Here's some helpful application hints. When you're using our enroller tool, it's called My Enroller. That's the actual tool that you use through the agent portal. That's where you get the application. You can apply for first aid coverage plan versus going directly to a graded. That's where I'm going to show you why it's important to do your pre-screening questions. You can adjust the client's address to match the United States Post Office. So when you're typing in their physical address, if for some reason our system doesn't recognize it, a little window is going to pop open and say they're going to suggest using this one because that's the one the United States Post Office is using. Okay. We must have a physical address. It cannot be a PO box. So like I said, even if you've got somebody that's, here in this country illegally, let's say, but they have an I-10 number, as long as they've got a physical address where they receive mail, we can write them. Okay. When you're inputting the information, if they live in an apartment, there's a spot on the application to put the apartment number or the letter, make sure it jives, because obviously if you're at an apartment complex, everybody at that apartment complex shares the same physical address. The only difference is the apartment number or letter. So be sure to, to make sure that you're doing that in that spot. When you're spelling out the street addresses, You can still abbreviate, but if for some reason you're abbreviating like court or street or road or drive or lane, if for some reason it's not accepting it, all I'm going to suggest is spell out the word that you're trying to abbreviate. So you would spell out court or road or drive or street, but you only have to do that if it's not accepting it. And you'll know immediately, as soon as you type it in, it won't let you go to the next thing you got to fill out until that is correct. So these are just some little tips for you. If you're going on an appointment where you know it's going to be a face-to-face appointment, like at their house, you already have their address. You can even validate it through the United States Post Office just to make sure it's a legitimate address. So that's just something by you can do your homework in advance if you'd like. But that's just some helpful tips for you. When we're telling people today, and I'm going to show you when I get to the quote two, I highly recommend, guys, using solve for premium versus solving for face amount. And I'm going to explain the reasons why. Number one, when you look at we measure quality of business, one of the dynamics to quality of business is we measure your business, how much of it is sticking after 91 days. For example, if 20% or higher of your business is falling off the books in 90 days, you have a problem. Okay. And I'm going to explain to you, because we did pilots. We monitored every case that fell off the books after at the 91-day mark, let's say. And the number one reason, 99% of the time, why they're falling off in 91 days, anybody want to take a guess what it is? It's because they couldn't afford it. Okay. So that when they were finding out, why did you drop it? They said, oh, well, I couldn't afford it. That's why when you solve for premium, you're asking them, what do you feel comfortable with setting aside for your final expense insurance, so that you're taking care of this today, so you're not being a burden to your family. Whatever number they give me, they're feeling like they're part of the process and they can have this built to their needs. I don't want to sell them a round number just because it sounds good, like 10,000 or 15,000 or 25,000. I don't want to do that. I want to sell them what they can afford. And I would say something that would sound like this: Mr. and Miss Prospect, what I want to know from you is what could you set aside that's not going to take food off your table? Hey, if your car's transmission fell out tomorrow, I want to know, would you still be able to afford this insurance? Whatever that number is, that's the number I want to use. If for some reason, once we put it in and it still doesn't cover enough of what they feel they need for covering final expense, I'd say, look, I would love to drive the best Mercedes on the planet. However, I can't afford it. That's why I drive a Subaru Outback. Okay. So just because you can't afford the very best, highest face amount doesn't mean you should be without, right? If everybody wanted a Mercedes, but yet you couldn't afford it, are you going to walk if you can't get it? No, you're going to find something that you can afford that you're comfortable with. That sounds right, right? Okay. That's the same thing when it comes to the insurance. You've got to make them see it that way. You got to help them to understand that, hey, everybody might want $2 million worth of life insurance, but just because you can't afford it doesn't mean that you should go without, right? So you need to get what you can afford that makes sure that you're covering the minimum of the lion's share of the cost. Okay. That's my philosophy behind it. So also consider immediate billing. We have the ability to bill this thing out 35 days from now. But here's the catch. If your customer doesn't have the cost of the first month's premium today, what are the chances they're going to have it 35 days from now? So this is where we recommend put that billing date as close as you can, or immediately, consider immediate billing, because they can afford that amount today. All right. So anyhow, have bank account information ready. So, if they've got a checking account or if they want to draft it out of a savings account, as long as we have a bank account number and a routing number and it's a legitimate bank, that's all we need. Okay. Obviously our website, Wellaby.com sign in. Once you get your writing number, they're going to send you an email with your writing number, and they're going to send you a link that you can log into. This is where you will create your password and your login. This is where you'll have access to all of the agent portal, where you can go in there and get supplies if need be. You'll be able to go to the My Enroller application tool. Plus, it's A to Z. Everything you need is right there. Once you get in there, and the reason why you want to go in there is because you'll have access to all of our brochures, our flyers. If you're doing any type of advertising through Facebook, we already have approved Facebook banners. We have approved newspaper ads. We can even personalize them for you, put your name and contact information, all for the low, low price of free. Okay? Won't cost you a dime. All you got to do is go in there and hit the order materials tab, and you can order whatever you want. They will send it to you, ship it to you absolutely free. Okay? The only time you would ever incur an expense is if for some reason maybe you did some poor planning and you needed this stuff overnighted to you. Well, then they're going to charge you probably a $50 charge to have something overnighted. But you also have access to all these things, guys, and they're in a PDF form. So you can click on it, download it, and print it yourself. But there again, I'm going to tell you, ink is expensive, especially if you're doing something in color. Don't spend your money, spend our money. We will send this stuff to you free in color. So there it is. You got it for what it's worth. And by the way, if you need something in Spanish, most everything we have in English, we have in Spanish, and we'll send that to you as well. Or you can download the PDF. So we're going to make this real simple for you. When you get contracted with us, you get advanced commissions. If you qualify for advanced commissions, we will advance on our guaranteed issue 6 months commission of the first year. Maximum we will advance on one application on that is $500. If it is a first day coverage or a graded, we will advance you 9 months commission. Maximum advance is $1,500. Okay, so we've got some people that write some $300 and $400 a month premiums, guys. And when you're talking about $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year in premium. And depending on what your contract is, your commission, 9-month advance could easily be $3,000. Well, we're going to advance you $1,500 max. And then everything else will be paid out in months 10, 11, and 12, because 9-month advance, is 75% of the first year's premium. And then you'll get the balance of it in months 10, 11, and 12. Awesome. Okay. If for some reason you ever have a question about commissions, you can actually call the agent sales support line, which I'll give you that number, or you can email commissions@wellaby.com and they'll get back with you within 24 hours. So if you have clients that are very tech savvy, unlike myself, but they're tech savvy and they're used to working with mobile apps, we actually have a mobile app for consumers. So you can actually tell your customer, hey, you can download this app. It's a free app, and they can view their plan coverage in here. They can receive quick support through our customer success through the app. They can also retrieve your information, but God forbid they lose your information and they don't know who you are. That's shame on you if they don't remember your name and have your number, right? So be sure they get your contact information. Now, I would not tell everybody about this. If you've got a person that's not used to dealing with apps, don't tell them about this. But if they used to deal with apps and they would prefer doing through an app, they can do it. They can download this app. It's a Wellaby app. Otherwise, they can go through normal channels for our customer service. All right. Quick processing time. You'll love our streamlined application. All 3 products use the same application with the instant underwriting. Claim payments. This is huge, guys. We're paying our average death claim in 5 days. Our competitors are not even coming close to those numbers. All right. The reason why we can do that is, number one, all we need is the original death certificate, the one with the seal. Okay. And after that, they can actually fill out a claim form online. And here's where this is what knocks everybody's socks off. We can actually direct deposit the death benefit to the beneficiary. So if they give us an account number and a routing number, they don't have to wait for the mailman to run, and we have to mail them their check. We can do a direct deposit if they would like. And that cuts usually 4 or 5 days off the mailing process. So you'll have that in your bag is what I'm saying. So if you got somebody, like I said, once you have one client, and it's going to happen. If you get in the business long enough, you're going to pay a death claim to somebody. When you can get involved and help them, and you can get their death claims paid in that amount of time, get your book ready, and because you're going to be able to get some referrals, because they're going to have this. They're going to be extremely happy with the process. They're going to be extremely pleased how fast it was. So that is a great time to ask for other people that you may be able to help that's maybe not used to getting good customer service like that. So use that to your advantage. This is by far the most important tool I recommend everybody have. Now, you can download this in a PDF to your laptop. You can actually order a paper copy of it. Mario, I'm actually going to send you one of these via email, which then you can print it off. It's about a 26-page document. There again, you can use your ink to print it, but you can also just download it to your laptop. But you can go on the agent portal and order one. I still carry one in my backpack just because I'm old school. I like to be able to put it with my fingertips, flip to the page, and boom, I have an answer. But this agent field manual, our agent sales support people that answer the phone, they say that if an agent had this tool in front of them, this would answer 80 to 90% of all the phone calls that they're taking in the home office. This would answer your question for you. So I'm trying to save you time and energy. So get you one of these. It's our agent field manual. It covers A to Z, everything you want to know about our final expense, from commission to underwriting. It even has which you'll have a link if you want to look at a prescription drug list and stuff like that. It's a living, breathing tool that's always changing because of updates and stuff like that. But I'll make sure that Mario has one of these. I'll send it as an attachment. If you're selling any type of health programs, I would encourage you to take a look at our Medico side, which is our health side, because they do Medicare supplements. They have a first diagnosis cancer plan. They have a hospital indemnity. They have a dental. They even have a short-term care plan, which is like a smaller version of long-term care, but it's much more liberal in underwriting. I don't do the training on that, but I can get you connected to who does. I only do the life insurance. And soon to be, we're going to be adding an annuity to our portfolio as well. This is the most important phone number. You need to save this to your cell number. This 866-252-5594. That is the agent cell support number. And when you dial that, it's going to tell you, push an option. Option 2, when you hit option 2, you'll be able to speak to a live person. And they can help you with technical issues. They can help you with commission things. They can help you with some of the underwriting stuff virtually. And that phone number is good and live from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you're on the East Coast or West Coast, be aware of those time slots. That's 7:30 in the morning to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If for some reason you're calling before or after those times, you're not going to get somebody, but you can use that FE agent support at Wellaby. That's an email where you can email what your question is, and they'll get back with you within 24 hours. In addition to that, we also have an underwriting hotline. This is very rare that you'll ever need to call this number to ask about an underwriting question. For example, the reason why I say that is if your question is like this: hey, I ran across this client, they have cancer, can I write them? If they're between 40 and 80 years of age, yes, you can write them because that's guaranteed issue, okay? If for some reason you have an underwriting question and it's after hours or whatever, you can email new business at Wellaby, and the underwriter will be monitoring this email and will respond back to you within 24 hours if need be, okay? If it's a pre-screening, okay, if it's a pre-screening question, you can email prescreen@wellaby.com and they'll get back with you within 24 hours, okay? But I'm going to teach you how to underwrite up front. That's going to save you a lot of time and energy. All right. Let me do a new share here. That's the PowerPoint on the product, guys. This is the next thing. Let's see here. What is this? No, that's not the one I want. Let's see, new share. Okay, what I'm going to have to do, I know I had it pulled up. Let me move this out the way.
if you click the green share button, it'll pop up another screen and you'll see other things that you have open and you can just click on that one.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to find, because I had it open, I just minimized it, but I'm not seeing it in with these pictures here. So what do
You
you
might have too
recommend?
many things open.
Yeah, what do I need to do?
Um,
Let's see, let me
So
close.
hit the escape button real quick. When you hit the escape button, it should take it off of full screen.
Okay, so let me do the,
Let's see if that'll work.
yeah, I hit this, there we go, let's see here.
There we go.
Let me
So now
move
minimize
this.
that, like take it down to the bottom,
Okay,
and then you should be able to go find whatever one you're looking for.
yeah, I'm trying to see if I move this down here. There we go. Minimize that. I want to minimize that. Minimize that. Yeah, what I want is the here. Okay, so it is that, and this is what I want. Okay, this is it. Okay, now we're ready. All right. So when you type in, like on your phone, or on your laptop, whatever, if you type in quick quote, no spaces, .myenroller.com, this is the screen that pulls up right here, guys. And I'm going to show you this. If you use this tool, I'm going to guarantee that you're going to have good quality business. Trust me, just follow with me. Let's just do this. We're going to do an example. We know we're in Texas. Okay. Give me a zip code, Mario. What zip code do you want to use?
75035.
Okay, 75035. All right.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to assume I'm going to use a female, and I'm going to make this age so I can, if it's for all three products, let's say 1963. Okay. And then once you put their state in, their zip code, male or female, and their date of birth, you just click update. And when you do that, you scroll down here, and as you can see, you can quote these other products too if you're contracted with the health side. But you go down here to final expense, you click on that. It'll always give you the date, today's date, the date that you're wanting to quote this. It's going to show bank draft. It's going to show monthly. We're just going to assume that they don't use cigarettes, tobacco. So we're going to say no. But right here, this is the big one. Okay, let me move this down here. Okay, right here where it says calculate by. Most agents will calculate by premium. Let me show you where that you make the mistake. I mean, by face amount. This is where they make the mistake. Let's just say that your customer would like around, $15,000 worth of life insurance. Okay, so I do that face amount 15,000. And let's say I'm putting the dependent children's rider. Well, first you got to click on one of them. This is the first day coverage. That's your graded, that's your guaranteed issue. All right. So for 15,000, here's the price. Everybody see the 58.65? Okay. So that's for that 60-year-old woman. That's a non-tobacco. That's what she's going to pay for first day coverage. Let's assume she can't get first day coverage, but I want to put my dependent grandchildren's rider, and I want to put accidental death. See what the premium did? It went from 53 to 63. It added $1 for the child rider, and then the balance of that was accidental. Okay, but let's say you're submitting this, but they weren't 100% honest with you when you were asking questions. So something in Milliman, let's say that they can't get first day, but they have to get graded. Well, as soon as I click on graded, you see the accidental death rider went away because it's not available. Okay, it's not available on the graded. This stayed on. Look at the premium though. So initially they were thinking about, maybe $63, but now it's 76. Oh, I got to spend you mean to tell me I got to spend $13 more and I'm losing a rider? Okay. Let's say worst case scenario that they weren't being honest with you, but yet Milliman picked up, they're on a medication and it's something that's not, they can't qualify for anything. They get guaranteed issue. They still have the dependent children's rider, but look what happened. Now you got to sell them on 102 versus that $63 figure. You think they're very happy right now? No, they're a little disappointed, right? So now let me show you. We're going to calculate by premium. You're going to love this, guys. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we asked Mrs. Smith, this 60-year-old woman, we said, Ms. Smith, before I get into, how much coverage you need or want, let's talk about what you can afford. You know what? I would like to talk to you about a number that's not going to take food off your table. I'm not going to talk to you about a number that, if your car's transmission fell out tomorrow, I want to know that whatever you can afford, even if the worst thing happens like that, you can still afford this, because this is very valuable coverage. This is, you're making a conscious effort to take care of your final expenses so your loved ones don't have to do this, or this burden is not shifted onto them. So with that being said, what do you feel that you could set aside comfortably? And I'm just going to do an example. Let's just say she tells me I can afford about $65 a month. Okay. So right here, guys, I'm just going to put in $65.00. When I do that, I'm going to click. You see right here, 65 says it's going to buy 26,900 of first day, 20,500 rated, and 15,152 guaranteed issue. But I have to click on one. So I'm going to click on that. But before you show them that, you do this. All right. So here's the premium, right? 65 bucks. For 65 bucks, that's going to buy them 16,729. But if you don't want to show that yet, but you'd like to show it with riders, click on this. Everybody knows I just added $1 to the premium, right? By putting that rider. Look, it's still 65, meaning I'm not adding to her premium. So when I add a rider, what's going to happen is the face amount's going to change, but the premium is not. Okay. So watch this. I'm going to add accidental death rider. So when I hit accidental death, this $16,457 is going to double, or it's going to go down. You'll notice that go down. Watch. I got to do that. And I have to say that they're not in the military. You see, it went down to 15,500. Look at the monthly premium. It's still 65, guys. So if I'm going to, if I know that this lady's in decent health, I'm going to go ahead and put these riders on with that 65. And now I'm ready to present it to her and say, you know what, Miss Smith, for that $65, let me tell you what you're going to get. You're going to get a plan that's going to pay $15,506 worth of first day coverage. In addition to that, we're going to cover all of your grandchildren or any dependent children that you may still have. If they're 0 to 17, $2,500 worth of coverage. And also, by the way, if for some reason you have an accidental death, we're going to double this 15,500. So it's going to be like you're getting 31,000 in accidental death. You follow me? So let's assume you submit this in. Everything, she gives you the green light. This is the way you got to go. But for some reason, when you click that submit button, Milliman picked up something in the background and she can only get this. Okay. She gets, her face amount goes down. She can't get first day, but she can get this. She gets to keep the children's rider. But look at her cost. Still 65 bucks. So yeah, she might not like that the face amount went down, but she's still going to love the fact that I'm still in her budget because she gave me that number, right? Worst case scenario, if she's in real bad health, hey, she gets $92.79. She still gets the grandchildren's rider. And guess what? Her premium is still 65. So by presenting this way, guys, using calculate by premium, they're never going to get disappointed because the premium went up. Okay. The face amount's going to drop accordingly, but guess what? She's not going to drop this thing 90 days from now because she can't afford 65. Keep in mind, the number one reason why they fell off the books in 91 days is because they couldn't afford it. When you sell up front based on the premium, you're going to have a more solid case. You're going to have a better take-in rate. You're going to have a better persistency rate. And guess what? If she's in a position where she's got some other bills that she's concerned about, and once she pays those bills off, you say, hey, give me a call, Miss Smith. I'll come back out and we'll add to this number. You can write her an additional policy and add some more life insurance to her plan, and she can afford more at that time. But the point being is get something in place that you know that she can afford versus just quoting. So I'm going to teach you how to get out of a bad habit of maybe focusing on just round face amounts. Quote by premium it will never steer you wrong, ever. I promise you. Everybody understand that? Okay. So where do I go now? Let's see. I'm going to show you. And the reason why I want to tell you this, guys, is because of this. I wish I'd have been having this conversation with you the last quarter of last year because of this new incentive we got going on. This new incentive we got going on is it's based on your issued business. It started January the 1st and it goes all the way to June the 30th. I'm going to send you this flyer as well. That if you guys are contract with us, you to receive this in an email, but I'm going to send this as an attachment to you. The way this works is this is based on your issued applications. If you issued 5 to 9 applications and you meet this criteria on the right-hand side, you achieve a take-in rate of 65%. What does that mean? That means that we expect you to place at least 65% of the business that you issue, okay? We also want a mix of business. We don't want to just receive guaranteed issue from you. We want to see a 45% mix of first day and graded, and 55, not more than 55% of guaranteed issue. If you can give us that mix of business and you have a 91-day lapse rate of 20% or lower, you're going to qualify for these bonuses out to the side here. And here is an example for you. Here's an example saying, and it clicks when you hit the 15 mark. Okay, when you hit the 15 and 19 issued app mark, you're going to receive the $150, you're going to receive the $200, and you're going to receive $250. That's a $600 payout, all right? However, let's say you're doing very well at placing business, you have a great relationship with your clients, and you are actually placing more than 80% of your business. If you're placing more than 80%, we will double that $600 and we will give you a $1,200 bonus. That means we're going to reward you for better quality of business. All right. So anything that we're going to do as far as an incentive to you, it's going to be based on not how much business you can write, how much business you can write and place. Okay. And as an agent being paid fully commission, trust me, you don't get paid on what you submit. You get paid on what you keep, what you can place. So what we're willing to say, based on the record numbers we received from everybody last year, we just want to show you ways how to increase your take-in rate, increase your 91-day lapse rate, and virtually increase your mix of business. If we can help you do that, if you added up all of these columns and doubled them because you had over 80% take-in rate, you would receive $9,800 free cash incentive on top of your commissions. This particular flyer is a front and back flyer. I'm going to send it to you, Mario, and virtually the contest is going to end, or the incentive is going to end June the 30th. So you've got plenty enough time to write business, okay, to get to that 15 mark to be able to double your bonus. Now, if you just do 5 to 9 apps and you get this criteria on the right side, you're still going to get the 150. But I want you to get to that where you can double the money, okay? And I want you to have great take-in rate, all right? So I'm going to email that to you so you'll have that as well. This will be paid out in September because we need the lag time to be able to add up everybody's bonuses, and it will be paid on. I can't remember. It says it on the back of this flyer. It's going to be either, I can't remember if it's the first pay cycle or second cycle of September is when you'll get it. Okay. Oh, here it is right here. It tells you. If you see it, let me know where you see it, but I know it's in September. Oh, right here. Here we go. Final incentive eligibility will be determined by September 30th. So they want to be able to look at your business to see what's stuck. So September 30th, it'll be paid out. Around September 30th is when it'll be paid out to you. Okay. Let's see here. I want to get to, let's do a, let's go back to this. Share. So, okay, once, that one. Here we go. Right here. All right. If you guys, let me make sure y'all get this. Can y'all see this screen here, the login?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. This is where you go in. When you log into Wellaby, you're going to be able to
Oh,
go
no, no,
in.
no, sir.
You
We
can't see
don't. We're
that?
seeing the Acrobat Reader.
Okay, let's see here.
By the way, Raymond, we're gonna only have a few more minutes.
Okay.
And then I'd love to have you back for a part two, especially as
Sure,
people
sure.
start getting into it. I think they'll have
Okay.
some more
I'm going to go through
questions.
this super quick for you. This is the login, guys. When you log in, because let's say you're ready to write an app or you want to get some supplies, whatever, you just click on this login button. Okay. And you get inside, and here's all these little tabs here. You know, you got resources. Okay. You click on resources, or you can go up here at the top. Let me close this right there. Or you can go to quick links right here, these quick links. You know, you can go to reports, commissions, policy search, My Enroller. That will take you to the application. Here's the Spanish materials, social media guidelines, final expense incentives. All of these tabs will take you wherever you need to go, and you'll be able to find that. But when you're ready to, you know, write some business or whatever, like I said, you'll go to your My Enroller, okay, right here, and this is where you'll log in, and it'll take you to the application. Okay, that's where you'll go to that. Here's all your user guides right here. Yeah, I'm pretty much done, Mario. So I would like to open the floor for questions if somebody has some questions.
Hi, Raymond.
Go ahead, guys.
Patty, how are you?
Good.
Good. Quick question. When is the ETA for California to receive your 3 new plans? Because I'm finding them to be not competitive.
I don't have the date on it. I inquired actually on Monday about that, and there still wasn't. There's other projects they want to get taken care of before that. I know one of the big things is they're rolling out some new product for health side that's at the top of their agenda. They're rolling out this new annuity that we're coming out with. So it's not on the top of their priority list. The good news is the hardest part is done. We got the product approved by California. We just haven't rolled it out. It's our fault. It's not California's fault. We just hadn't rolled it out yet. I can't give you a date, but if you held my feet to the fire, I'd say at the earliest, probably by the end of the third quarter.
Got it.
That,
Okay.
that would be my best guess.
All right. Thanks.
Who's next? Okay. If for some reason you guys have a question, you'll have all my contact, and Mario has my contact information, you know, my email address and my cell number. I'm going to go ahead and give you my cell number, guys. It's area code 225-610-6163. That is my cell number. If you call me, please, 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 if I don't pick up, leave a detailed message. Give me your name. Let me know what group you're part of. Let me know that you were on this Zoom call so I can kind of put 2 and 2, so I can kind of remember a little bit about you. Okay. And then state what you need from me. And I'll promise you, I'll give you a call back within 24 hours. I travel extensively doing trainings, and I do a lot of Zooms and so forth. So reach out to me. Obviously, if it's something that agent sales support, you might be better off calling them. Use me kind of as a last resort, possibly, but I'll be happy to help you as best way I can. My email address is my first initial R, and then my last name is M as in Mary, A as in Apple, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, E as in Edward, @wellabe.com. Wellabe is spelled WELLABE.